Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. You join us on the WWE NXT save with some NXT as it is Survivor Series weekend, which means it is Wargames 2021. So the whole theme is of course survival. It is Survivor Series, so there's going to be a lot of matches over NXT TakeOver and of course Survivor Series, where the emphasis is purely on that. So you'll have your Wargames matches here, you'll have some 5-on-5 matches on Survivor Series, and you'll also have a intercontinental survival matchup, but that will be explained once we get to the next video, which will be Survivor Series. So with NXT, we are looking to beat last year's rating of a 70. We're going to double the attendance apparently, so we're looking at about 35,000. So it just shows the growth we've had in the company, and just looking through last year's matches there, you can obviously see the big difference. The likes of Dakota Kai, Candice LeRae, Tegan Knox, Shotzi Blackheart have all made the main roster. Jordan Devlin's been pretty much blacklisted from title contention. The Grizzled Young Veterans are on the main roster. Let's see what else we've got. Both Tessa and Io Shirai are on the main roster as well. Ciampa and Karrion Kross on the main roster. Velveteen Dream and Walter on the main roster. And Imperium on the main roster. And Maestros Deseo, well, El Hijo del Fantasma has left them. He is now with his group, with Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde, and they will be in action tonight in the War Games matchup. So I'm looking forward to it. We should definitely beat attendance. The show rating, I'm quite confident as well, because we do have a really good main event for the NXT Championship. It is going to be Chad Gable defending it against another wrestler who's come back down from the main roster, one of the legends of NXT, Sami Zayn. So I think that can be absolutely stellar, giving them about 25 minutes to run that main event. So get ready, we're going to crack on. As always, thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, a wee thumbs up is deeply appreciated. The sub button just fires these into your inbox basically to see if you go hunting for them. And if you want to buy the game or check out other people's content, all the best sources are in the description below. Without further ado, you've got a show to go. Let's crack on. This is NXT Wargames 2021. So 35,718 fans in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. So great attendance there. We'll see how that compares to our other takeovers. And we start the show with a hype package documenting what's going to be in the main event. Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, two former NXT guys, are now back in NXT looking to relaunch their careers. And that championship match got a rating of 60, because that's roughly their overness level at this moment in time. The first match is straight into a War Games match. It is the 5-on-5 Women's War Games match. And it was a decent matchup that saw the team of Priscilla Kelly, Raquel Gonzalez, Nicole Matthews, Kimberly and Allysin Kay defeat Kairi Sane, Deonna Purrazzo, Indy Hartwell, Natalya and Kana in a War Games match in 2005, when Nicole Matthews pinned Natalya with the Vancouver Maneuver. A very good 61 opening performance there. You can see the key performers. Priscilla with 69, so she's really developing, and I think once the product goes to this on the main roster, she's got to go up there with those performances. Nicole Matthews with 61 is very strong. I'll probably give a shout out as well to Kana with the 58 and Kairi Sane with the 60, but very happy with that. I felt like here there was a lot that just needed to showcase, so the likes of Purrazzo, Hartwell needed that, maybe Kana as well, and matches like this are only going to help us push Raquel Gonzalez, as she is of course the bodyguard, effectively the role she was playing with Dakota Kai. She's doing that with Priscilla Kelly at this moment in time. Check here anymore, just Allysin Kay getting better gimmick. Moving on, Nicole Matthews cuts a promo and she just says she's proved it, she's won this, it's time she gets a goddamn title shot for the NXT Women's Championship. She's going to be watching the matchup between Bianca Belair and Dana Brooke later on to see who wins that, but she says she should get it. She is the best female on this damn roster. So that was a 60 rating there. But William Regal comes out, the general manager of course of NXT, and he says, well Nicole, it's a good victory for you, but if you really want to prove that you are the best women's wrestler on NXT, then I'm glad to announce that in 2 weeks on the WWE Network and my YouTube channel, we will have the annual Mae Young Classic, and the winner of that, should it not be the NXT champion, will get an opportunity at the NXT Women's Championship. So that tournament matches will start taking place on NXT television next week, with the last couple of rounds at the big event, and of course some other big massive women's matches. Not only will we see competitors from NXT, we'll see some competitors from NXT UK, and we'll also get some over from the Oz Joshi Academy, because that is absolutely stacked with a lot of future, probably women's champions, I'll be honest, because it is absolutely stacked and they're just gaining technical skill after technical skill. Next matchup was for the Cruiserweight Championship, and it was a decent matchup that saw Isaiah Swerve Scott pick up the win, defeating Jake Atlas, Ricochet and Myron Reed in 14:05, when Isaiah Scott pinned Myron Reed with a handspring back elbow. This means your new champion is Isaiah Scott. Ricochet carried the match in terms of in-ring performance. So a 63 overall here. It would have been a bit higher, but we had to obviously keep Ricochet looking strong. I just felt like he's kind of above this division at this moment in time in terms of overness, and he'll be another one that will greatly benefit when the product and the main roster changes. But I can kind of move him to more upper mid card, give these guys a better chance to flourish so we can get more stuff from Isaiah Scott, Shane Strickland, which I probably should have done beforehand, but I just feel it's going to be a very depth division. It's quite a lot of people in it, so I feel like Ricochet is just holding everybody else back and not allowing them to shine. So a 63, and that was with Myron Reed off his game. After the matchup, simple celebration by your new Cruiserweight champion. That was a 57 rated segment there. Then moved along, and returning to NXT television on Wednesday there was the team of Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. They basically had a bit of an iffy run on the main roster. I personally don't feel I utilised them great. So like any call-up that doesn't go quite well, I just bring them straight back to NXT, try and relaunch them and send them up to the main roster with a bit more momentum that can hopefully get them a bit further. So 47 here, they're going to take on the newly formed, maybe in the last few weeks or so of television, because we've had maybe 8 weeks to build this. Catch pointer here, Drew Gulak came down to the main roster, he turned heel, and he formed with former friend Tracy Williams as he signed with NXT. So that matchup itself took place, and a decent matchup saw Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne pick up the win in 13:35, when Pete Dunne pinned Drew Gulak with the bitter end. So a very strong 67. I feel like in this instance you're really going to help the development of Dunne and Bate. Whether we use Gulak again for the main roster with Tracy Williams, we just need to keep an eye on it, but the focus is developing some of the younger talent. So it got the crowd hotter, a spectacular 67 rating. Moving along, we had a triple threat match for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships, and I'm just reading everything here, and that has really put paid to any plans I had, which is not ideal because this affects WWE plans. So I'll read it out, explain everything that's happened here, because obviously it's the first time I'm seeing it, and then advise what was meant to happen. So the poor matchup, Fight Club defeated Casey Catanzaro, Caden Carter, and Rima Yamashita and Arisa Nakajima in 12:27. And the order of elimination was Casey Catanzaro went first with Caden Carter, and then Rima Yamashita and Arisa Nakajima went second. Due to an injury to Casey Catanzaro, this meant an audible had to be called, and the finish was changed on the fly. This allowed the 8th defence of the title and the title belt staying on Fight Club, of course, Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir. So at 36, Catanzaro sustained a family death, so it's just the way obviously the injuries are programmed into this game. Anything can randomly pop up that can cause an audible. So yeah, the plan was the title went on Casey and Caden, part of the Trinity, of course, with Jimmy Jacobs and Sami Callihan. Fight Club, Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir weren't getting moved to the main roster. I guess that's not happening now, they'll have to do double duty. But yeah, not ideal, because the next segment was Casey and Caden Carter celebrating. So obviously as well, when you get any sort of injury, even though that's the type of injury that's popped up with just the way the database is, it's going to take a few points off the segment rating. A few of them off their game, disappointingly, the team that should have won. and it cooled the crowd a little bit as well, so hopefully we can build them back up. So it's one of the things that can happen in the game, but I'm just going to keep the next segment in because I've explained it, and that is oh my god, so there's a little bit of heat on Jessamine Duke. Are they saying that she caused it? That is really awkward. Just the way the database is. Anyway, so they celebrate, even though they technically should have won, but didn't win 38 with Jimmy Jacobs for the Trinity, so we'll ignore that. Moving on to hopefully better things. A decent matchup saw the Lucha Brothers, Mojo Rawley's enemy, his nemesis at this point, him and Bo Dallas, the Mojo Bojo team, took on Phoenix and Pentagon, and Phoenix beat Bo Dallas with the Meteora. Second defence of the NXT tag titles, a simple 65. They got the crowd hot again. They're going to be champions while they're on NXT. There's no team that's going to get even close to them. And I don't want to just put them into the main roster until there's a proper programme ready for them. Next up, we got a promo with the Ace and the Beast. That's Ace Austin alongside his bodyguard, the Monster Babatunde, and the 69. Basically, we're just making sure Ace has just been absolutely one of my best people to use, and this, my AEW save, he's just been absolutely class. I didn't know a lot about him. I started watching a bit of Impact just to get an idea of the character, but in terms of his technical attributes in this game, just perfect. So I really want to push Babatunde. I feel like he's a great look. I feel like he's somebody that, when I saw him at the Greatest Rumble, just looked very intimidating. The film they had on Netflix showed his character stuff, and it's interesting what they're doing as well in Raw Underground. Hopefully he can benefit for that, because he does look like a proper... I think he'll be limited, but he'll be very, very just one of those sights to see, basically. So I'm hoping that he can just carry on and get the rub from Ace Austin. So Ace will do most of the promos, and yeah, he'll tag along in the background. But at 69, still good. It's basically saying he's got Cesaro, big man, it's cool. We've already agreed that you're going to help the team of Santos Escobar. So you take the night off, man, from helping me. You just go sort them, and I'll deal with this against Cesaro. So 69. Now the Cesaro Ace Austin match, when I done in AEW, was roughly going about 60. I'm hoping this breaks the 70s, maybe even might break an 80. On the dot. So Cesaro came back, same as Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. I felt like, remember this guy was world champion at the start of the year. But I just felt like it's cool. I don't really need him in the main roster. I've given him that main opportunity, and he can just get doing the main to NXT. Have good matches with pretty much everybody and can help them develop. So I feel like that kind of player coach role, I just feel he's going to be perfect in that. So superb matchup. Ace Austin defeats Cesaro in 1946 with the Fold. 80 rating, he gets an 85, Cesaro gets a 68, it gets the crowd hotter, and again Ace is just going to be someone that's going to benefit from a main roster product change. So well done. Next up, Dana Brooke cuts a promo hyping her upcoming match with Bianca Belair for the NXT Championship. Just a 48, but Dana's just basically saying it's good that she's come back to NXT, she's really discovered herself, she's seek to improve week by week, and despite her problems with Nicole Matthews, Priscilla Kelly, Raquel Gonzalez, she feels like she's earned this opportunity, and she's going to do her best to defeat Bianca Belair because she feels like she can become a champion. And the match itself was decent. Dana Brooke does defeat Bianca Belair in 14:05 with Simone Driver. So Dana Brooke is your women's champion. As I say, I want to try and push her like we pushed her in TEW2016, but obviously she won't develop as well as she did in that, so that makes it a wee bit of an element of challenge. Just a 49 though, this was their fourth match against each other, but I felt like Bianca, I'm going to push to the main roster again. She's had her time in NXT, but I want to do something with her in Montez Ford going forward on the main roster, so Bianca Belair will be someone to look out for on Monday Night Raw in the next few months or so. It might not be straight away because there's a lot happening on the Raw brand. It might even make it go to 4 hours if possible. So Dana celebrates, and I gets a 55 for that. We then just have Sami Callihan talking with Ace Austin and Babatunde. Says just Sami, just saying well done, great victory earlier on. Big man, you ready? And just Ace Austin saying this man is ready to just be an absolute destroyer within the 5-5 War Games matchup. So the team, Sami Callihan, Babatunde, Santos Escobar, Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde against the babyfaces, and a 74 for that. And the match itself was decent. And the team of Callahan, Escobar, Wilde, Mendoza and Babatunde defeat the team of Dragon Lee, Flamita, Bandido, Eli Dragunov and Bronson Reed in 24:06 when Babatunde pinned Dragunov with the spear. Operation Try and Get Babatunde Over in full effect in this 67 rated matchup. You can see here a lot of people with good performances, a bit to work with. The likes of, well, the heels, you can see Callahan far ahead of the rest of them, so I'm still trying to get them over. Escobar will be a bit tricky to go over because his age is 37 for my King Cuerno. Hopefully we get him there, but great performances from the babyface side. Even Big Bronson, I think if he can keep going the way he's going, shouldn't be too far off the main roster either. The problem is, you can't put everyone on the main roster, and some will just end up getting used like some of them do in real life. So good win there, good result for Babatunde. Main event time, Chad Gable cuts a promo on Sami Zayn, and he says Sami's obviously saw what he's done and coming back to NXT, coming champion, having good match after good match. But Sami has to realise that, you know, it's through hard work and dedication, and Sami just wants stuff handed to him on a plate. So their matchup, 66, and how will it go? A 78. It's not too bad, not horrible. I've never really had anything much from Sami Zayn in this mod, which has been pretty gutting, because I pushed him very highly in 2016, but of course he's a lot older than he was back then. And a superb matchup, Gable picks up the win over Sami in 21:33 by submission. Chad Gable gets the third defence of the NXT title, so a good win for Chad. Sami will just keep trying to build up. I feel like he needs a good couple of feuds in NXT, because I do want to give him one more run on the main roster alongside KO. And overall the show, a 76, not our best by any stretch of the imagination, and a 41 region increase. I feel like the reason that didn't get as high because the highest promo I think was only a 74 and the highest match was an 80, so that's obviously what's took into account. Sorry, not even the highest match, the main event that gets taken into account. So yeah, that kind of explains it, because we are 90% on the main event and 90% on your best promo. Same for NXT as the main roster. We'll take a wee look into the main screen. There's a few things I want to check with NXT. Basically, how did Babatunde go? Did we manage to get him a bit more over? That would remain to be seen, but I still think it was a positive show. Still fairly happy with it. And let's just hope this hurries up a wee bit, because we are getting further into the save now, so, and a lot of contracts are popping up. So there's quite a few people as well coming to NXT. I probably, if I can remember, mention who some of those people are. So the viewing figures was 5.8 million. Casey get the family definitely know about. Will that show me who's coming in? That's my notepad. Decisions. Should we keep that a secret? Oh well, there you go. So people that are coming in: Zack Sabre Jr., Dagger, and Jay Lethal. There's a few that have been here for a while, and then you can see other people that we've all got ready to half of them just really find a place to put them in. Absolutely looking to get using Jungle Boy, and I say Lethal and Sabre Jr. Just disappointing that, as I say, we're losing Trent, but I just don't have anything for him. And I'd rather go with the younger guys, Dunn and Bate, so yeah, no such joy there. Medically, so the family death will keep Casey out for 3 days. Also get Harley Jackson and Angel Rose, of course, Diamante, out for a little bit. But what we wanted to check was how was the Babatunde experiment. So 48 over, 49 some places. He hasn't gained a lot, but, well, saying that, he is still 7. So I think he was at 45 over before the matchup, but you can see the progress since the Ace Austin joining. So absolutely no overness in April. We started it then May, June, July, and then just really starting to kick on. So I'm hoping we keep working Babatunde, we might get him to about 60 over by the time we get a year of the push. So maybe WrestleMania time we might get him to 60 over. But overall we're happy with that. I wanted to check the top 100. So the show itself at 76, we put that at 6th place. way above the last War Games, which would have been way down there. Top 100 matches. Did we get anything for that? I think the biggest was 78, so that's down in 18th place. Best matchup was still Ace Austin and Sami Zayn defeating Chad Gable and Ricochet, but a lot of the stuff you can see here is for 2021, so far stronger this year than we were last year. Attendances, well, we just keep smashing it and getting bigger and bigger, so that's a good thing about having not a takeover every month. You do notice the big gains every time, and obviously we've not been in pay-per-view, but the buy rates, so TV ratings are pretty good as well, as we continue to make the WWE Network a bit more expansive. So anyway, that's us for today's episode. As I say, next show will be from NXT, the Mae Young Classic, but before then we will of course have Survivor Series. That'll be our next episode. So the good thing is the Mae Young Classic as well will be at the same weekend as TLC, and then that'll give me a good 6 weeks to book the Rumble in game, and it'll also give me an opportunity to do the PWI 500 and the Tag Team Dusty Cup as well. So thanks for watching, stay safe, and hopefully I'll see you for that next episode, which of course will be the 2021 Survivor Series. Thanks, see you soon.